Hello, hello, beautiful people. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. And if you're returning, I'm so blessed, so honored to be here doing your reading again today. So I'm doing a much requested reading in regards to a twin flame connection between you and the person you're engaged with here. Don't put too much weight into the label per se, okay? Although this connection I'll be tapping into is not your typical traditional sort of matrix relationship, okay? This is a soul connection that runs deeper than sort of your everyday matrix relationships. And so if you've clicked on this video, chances are there is a pile here that's sitting with you and the person that you came here about. And we'll be looking at you versus this person. So we'll be looking at divine masculine energy versus divine feminine energy in the journey of the twin flames. Okay, and I'm not talking gender, I'm solely talking energy. Everyone has masculine, feminine energy, and the twin flame journey consists of two people, one predominantly masculine energy-wise and one predominantly feminine energy-wise, which we'll refer to as divine feminine, divine masculine, and we'll be doing divine masculine versus divine feminine and taking a look at where each of the two are sort of sitting. Now, you could fall on either side, masculine or feminine side, doesn't matter. Again, your gender per se, it is solely the energy, and this will give you an idea of where you're at in this journey. Okay, twin flames got a lot of flack on the internet, so you can certainly have your own beliefs. I do a lot of readings for twin flames, a lot. Okay, so I'm very familiar with the energy sitting in this journey when it comes to twin flames, and I will be reading this as honestly and as openly as the energy's sitting in front of me. And as we know in this journey, sometimes we can only go so far because we're being called to use our intuition to guide us, sometimes in the dark, in the blind. Okay, so I'll do my best to see what it is I can see or what it is you're needing to hear in order to help navigate your way through this journey. But it is always up to you to use your intuition, always up to you to guide yourself. And of course, if you're watching too many pick a card readings, then you are encouraged to unplug for a bit, to tap into your own intuition. Okay, so this reading is going to be for those of you guys wanting to know sort of where you're at, where your person's at on this journey, and then we'll take a look at what is it you're supposed to be doing, what is it that's going on exactly, so that you can get some clarity and hopefully get some guidance. Okay, so for this reading we have 4 options to choose from. I know, that's what I said. 4 options, so 4 piles. And we'll be looking at divine masculine versus divine feminine energy. Option number 1, we have this rose quartz heart palm stone. Option number 2, we have this fluorite butterfly, dragonfly. I'm not sure what this is, a bug of sorts. Option number 3, we have this jadeite palm stone with another bug. And option number 4, we have this Art Nouveau maiden compact. All right, so I'll let you guys sit with this energy, and if you're drawn to multiple piles or multiple objects here, it could certainly be that you're tapped into different energies within the same connection, past, present, future energy. So if you're really tapped into passing energy, you might want to go check out another pile to see if you can tap into your current energy or even future energy in this connection, depending on how it comes through. Okay, so I'll put the timestamp for all 4 of these options in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. You guys picked the rose quartz heart, and we're looking at twin flame connection in this journey to see where things at between you and the person on your mind on this journey. Okay, so it will be divine masculine versus divine feminine, and you can resonate with either side here. You don't have to be born male or female to tap into whichever side. It should certainly be something that's resonating with you, whichever side you fall on, and then your person would be on the opposite side. Okay, so I do suggest you go listen to the intro, because there is a lot of questions when it comes to twin flames and that label. So I will be reading this as a twin flame connection. It could certainly be that you don't sort of fall into that label, but you do feel as though you're in a soul connection here with this person, and that's absolutely fine. Although, like I mentioned, I've read for hundreds of twins, and I will be reading this based on my experience of what it is that I'm seeing here, okay? And so some of this might contradict what it is that you see online as theory. This is more energy based on what's going on, and every sort of twin flame connection is different. Very, very different, okay? So I do want to make mention, if you or your person hasn't been triggered into a spiritual awakening, and this most likely is not your reading at all, because in a twin flame journey, one person is sort of triggered into a spiritual awakening, okay? Now, that doesn't automatically mean that this is a twin flame connection, but that certainly is a thing that has to happen in a twin flame connection. One side, generally divine feminine, is triggered into a spiritual awakening, okay? So let that sort of be your guide here as to whether this is going to be your reading or not. And yeah, if you're unsure, then this could still certainly be your reading, because, you know, things obviously go at its own pace. So you could be amidst a spiritual awakening. Your person could have had a spiritual awakening. So we're looking at divine masculine energy versus divine feminine. I'm not sure which side is what, but Spirit, clear and concise message here for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What is person, I'm going to leave that there, person number 2 going through, I'm going to leave that there, person number 2 going through in this journey. Clear and concise message in regards to where this journey's at. Wow. Person 1, person 2. Person 1, person 2. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection and the viewer. Where's this journey at with pile 1 versus their person? Okay, so we have some tarot here, which I'll be pulling shortly. Let's take a look. So person A here, let's see. We have integration with 6-6, multidimensional healing, sacred sexuality, accessing the unified field with 9-9. We have trust, 4-4, ask, listen, and allow. And we have divine order, practice patience. And we have remember your identity, you can do it. Okay. And we also have 6th chakra. The energy of third eye chakra supports our inner sight and intuitive abilities. And we have home, property, real estate, residence. And we have not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call person, boundaries, still angry. Okay, and then we have rose-colored glasses. Wow, okay, well, interesting energy. Let's look at person B here and see. We have unification, 9-9, aligning with abundance. We have 2-2, spiritual awakening. Shift or be shifted. We have 8-8, speak your truth, express yourself. And we have 11-11, mission accomplished, welcome home. And we have 18, duality. The frequency of duality supports our ability to gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. Okay. And we have I am filled with regret. And we have coffin. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. And past life, knowing, deja vu, and past love. Oh, wow. Okie dokie. So let me sit with this energy for a little bit and tap into it. And then we'll get into person A versus person B, divine masculine versus divine feminine energy, and see who is what and what's going on here. Just give me a minute. Okay. I'm feeling person A is divine masculine and person B is divine feminine. Okay. Like I said, doesn't matter if what your gender is. Okay. So you could be born female and be resonating totally with this person A. So I'm going to call this divine masculine and I'm going to call this side divine feminine energy. Okay, so let's start with the divine masculine energy. Where's this person at? I feel like this person is still resisting the connection between them and the divine feminine. This person is still working through blocks and trauma, needing to heal. Specifically, I feel this person might have trouble with intimacy. And I feel like this person has, like trust issues because of the blocks, specifically when it comes to being intimate and being vulnerable. And so this person could have a difficult time expressing how they feel and also trusting their intuition. But I feel like this person is far from sort of tapping into their intuition because they're still sort of dealing with matrixy things here, because I feel like this person is still not connecting to their true authentic self. I think this person is lying to themselves in regards to their environment and what it is that's going on around them, their everyday. So they could be sort of upkeeping some environment here that I feel is holding up some sort of tower. We'll get more when we tap into the tarot, but I do feel as though this person is in denial here. Okay, so they might be resisting this connection, and they are certainly pretending. They don't feel they're pretending, but pretending as in acting in a way here that is safeguarding themselves against being hurt and being vulnerable. So telling themselves maybe that they're, not ready, that they, that they're just not ready for a connection. So I don't feel like this person has allowed there to be any sort of foundation built in this connection. And I feel like this person is being called to come back home to self, for them to shed any sort of things going on in their life here that they're using to distract or deflect. Because I feel like this person is really needing to do healing on themselves and really sort of work on their trust issues, and trust themselves to make decisions. Because I feel like this person is sticking to the comfort zone that they know. And I do feel as though this person could certainly be highly spiritual and even psychic here with this third eye energy, but I don't feel as though this person has sort of opened themselves up to this at all. Like I feel like this is their higher self potential, saying that this person could connect to you know, some sort of psychic ability that this person could connect. And I mean, we can all connect psychically and open our third eye, but I feel like this person is highly psychic and could certainly be highly spiritual here. But I feel like this person, as they resist this connection, as they resist their true identity, they're suppressing any sort of ability they have here to connect to their higher self. And so I feel like this person is yeah, like I keep just hearing like they're sort of lying to themselves, thinking that their environment is sort of supporting them. Meanwhile, it's not allowing them growth. And I think they're using that as sort of a buffer between them and the real world here. And so there is this with practice patience and not today, this in denial of taking charge of their life today and maybe postponing. And so the lie is potentially them thinking that they have more time or enough time, or that the change they need to make is far in the future. And as they do this, they're sort of postponing or procrastinating making the changes they need to today. And so I feel like this person is really being asked to integrate everyday healing so that they can slowly start to work with the divine and tap into their intuition here. But I feel like this person finds a lot of comfort in their environmental things, you know. So if it's work, then they're putting a lot of their energy into work. If it's their family life, that's created some sort of stability in their world, although it might not be emotionally fulfilling or aligned with their authentic self, or their environment here that is pushing them to growth. I feel like they're sort of stuck here. And so let's move on to divine feminine and see what comes through. So with the divine feminine energy here on the right hand side, I feel there is mirroring here, because I feel like she's being asked to communicate something authentic in her own life that she might have not have yet expressed here. And it could be in any part of her life. And I feel like she is still having to tap into oneness when it comes to how she's dealing with this connection, because I feel like she's probably still in this sort of duality mentality, which is when she is not aligned with what feels or appears to seem like something that is what her egoic self is wanting. She has trouble sort of accepting and dealing with that. So what that means is that there's things in her life here that she's needing to put an end to, things in her life here that she's needing to be honest about. And I think she might have been hanging on to things that no longer serve her in her material world. So she's definitely being triggered into a spiritual awakening. So I feel like her world's sort of been flipped upside down, but I don't feel as though she has been taking much action. And if she has, she's sort of resisting. So a lot of mirroring, resisting changes in her own life. And so there is a scarcity mindset here with this duality, because I feel like she is still unable to trust in the universe to make the changes in her own life with things that need to come to an end. And so Spirit is slowly pushing her towards this greater truth to align herself with her authenticity and to align her with abundance. But sometimes in order to align with abundance, we need to make space and release things that no longer serve. So there is a soul recognition here, 100%, that this divine feminine has in this connection towards the divine masculine from a past life, a past soul recognition here. There's a deep sense of knowing, but I feel like she is also dealing with things in the matrix here with I'm filled with regret. So there's certain things in her world that she is needing to set straight and accept and or release and sort of find a way through her life here so that she's not hanging on to certain things here that are getting in the way of her spiritual growth. So she needs to focus definitely on herself, as this divine masculine needs to focus on himself. And so I feel like this divine feminine, her I don't feel like she sees her own sort of blocks. I think she sees the divine masculine blocks here very clearly, but I don't think she sees her own blocks here. And her block is that the divine masculine is sort of right where he needs to be in this connection, but not necessarily in his life. And so his growth in this twin flame journey is going to be dependent on her growth, because there's a lot of mirroring here. So if she doesn't deal with certain things in her own life and connect to her authentic self and connect to oneness and sort of go through this spiritual awakening by allowing herself to trust the divine and release certain things that aren't serving her, then she's sort of stuck here, and so will the divine masculine be stuck. So the ball is sort of sitting here with this divine feminine. Let's look at some tarot and see if we can see a little bit more. Knight of Pentacles falling in reverse. And Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And in reverse, this is something completely stuck and not manifested. So this connection's completely stuck. Nothing's manifested. Nothing's moving. Knight of Swords in reverse. There could have been ghosting. There could still be running. Okay, running away from the connection. There could be blocking. And I see not today, not dealing hurt, avoiding. So divine masculine is avoiding the connection. Divine feminine is avoiding dealing with things in her own life. So both are avoiding, and therefore this connection is stuck. And for some of you guys, blocked completely, or divine masculine has ran away, pulled away. Five of Cups in reverse. So both need to process their emotions here. Five of Cups is having to mourn certain things in our life in order for us to move forward. And so if there's certain relationships, certain things in our life that aren't necessarily allowing there to be growth, and we hang on to these things, it doesn't allow us to have growth and movement. And so I feel like both of these masculine and divine feminine energies are needing to deal with their own deal. I'm going to lay the one that revealed itself. So both the masculine and feminine energies here are needing to process emotions here that they haven't. Okay, Five Cups. And this is where we experience a loss and we have to grieve a loss. And so I feel like divine feminine is needing to release and fully allow her emotions to release whatever needs to go in her life and fully process this to have movement. And the divine masculine energy here is really attached to some sort of stability in his world here that he's going to have to eventually mourn and release as well. So here's the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning. Okay, the seed for a new beginning. And I feel as though in order for there to be a new beginning, for things not to be stuck, and the divine feminine has to take action. Six of Cups, there's the soul recognition. That's my soulmates card. Okay, now there's a big difference between twin flames and soulmates, but this to me is the soul recognition. And this is also the childhood, things from the past, people, places, and things from the past that are getting in the way that need to be dealt with. And I feel like both sides are retreating from confronting the devil in their own life, the thing that has them stuck. Okay, and I feel like sometimes we don't deal with the truth or the reality in front of us because of things that is sort of buried away in our inner child. Might be causing conflict if there's a lot of trauma and pain in our inner child here with the Six Cups. Okay, if we've had a lot of past experiences here that aren't allowing us to pull our energy back so we could become very authentic with how we want to move forward. We could be driven by certain experiences of the past here, okay? And I feel like both parties are retreating. Both parties aren't confronting what they need to. 5 swords, and it's causing 5 swords in this connection. And then here's the 4 pentacles. They need to release. They need to get out of the comfort zone. So what's happening? Lots of mirroring here. Both need to release. And so I feel like this divine feminine could certainly be leaning into this connection rather than releasing what she needs to, focusing and working on what it is that's going on in her life here that needs to be released, that no longer serves her, to make space for this connection and keep sort of shifting in this spiritual awakening, more in what she needs to. Go through whatever she needs to release here so she could become more ascended, if you will. Okay, now I don't feel as though twins need to be 100% sort of healed in order to come together into union. This could certainly be a dance between the two until they both sort of ascend and help each other grow, because this is a journey and it doesn't sort of turn overnight. But I feel like things are really stuck here in this connection right now. Things aren't moving, and divine masculine is either completely pulled away or blocked, okay? Or it could be the divine feminine has blocked because of a 5 sword situation. But either way, I feel these two are separated. And so this is a period of time in which both have to sort of reflect and deal on self. And the only way divine masculine is going to do this self-work is when the divine feminine sort of leads this journey. But she's most likely still sort of focused on what's going on here with this divine masculine, but still hanging on to the things here that she's needing to release. Knight of Cups. So this is us expressing how we feel. Okay, this could be this card here. Speak your truth, express yourself. And so I feel like this divine feminine could have certainly expressed how she felt here for divine masculine. I don't feel as though this divine masculine has expressed the emotions here. But what I feel is being reflected here is divine feminine has not expressed her full truth when it comes to certain parts within her life. And so therefore it's being reflected by this divine masculine that's not coming forward to have growth in his self-expression. Okay, now I'm not going to go into how the energy is interconnected, but I do want to say that this divine feminine is leading this spiritual journey. And so this is a very intertwined connection in which it could get very stuck here if she's not doing the soul growth she's needing to do. And if she's stuck, then divine masculine is stuck. So I feel like she is leaning into how she feels about this connection and avoiding and hanging on to what she needs to release in her own life. And so this is keeping this at stalemate. Okay, and you'll know, because that will resonate with you. Specifically, I feel I'm reading for divine feminine energy. Okay, if that doesn't resonate, this most likely probably is not your pile. But again, when we're only seeing what the divine masculine is doing and not turning the mirror on self, we might not be completely aware of our own action here. But that should ring a bell. That should ring a bell, that she is totally sort of fixated and focused on what the divine masculine is not doing, why it's stuck, rather than what it is she's needing to do in her life here. So we're going to get a deeper layer here and ask for some more information, because again, I don't know if I'm reading 100% for masculine feminine, although I do feel I'm reading for divine feminine here. Spirit, can we dive in a little deeper? What is the viewer needing to know about this connection? More guidance, more information, any questions they might still have in regards to this twin flame connection. I dropped a card. Grab that. So this kind of fell sideways. I will leave it and see what it means. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. 10 Pentacles, stability, something we've built over time. The length of time something takes in order to build our empire. Family, commitment, long-term stability. Under that we have Hierophant, more commitment, what we value. This could mean marriage, family. Okay, let's see. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. I need to stop and reflect. Queen of Swords, I need to get clear, honest, take action. sit with pain, like I said, the morning of the 3 swords, in order to get clear as to what we want to do. We need to pull away and really reflect here. And so we have the Knight of Cups sideways. And this was, like I said, how are we expressing ourselves? And I feel as though this message is coming quite clear. I do feel I'm reading for Divine Feminine, but I feel Divine Feminine because she's leading this journey. She might be leaning in heavy, thinking she is being authentic. And she is in regards to her feelings here for Divine Masculine, but she is putting her emotions towards sort of the wrong thing here. And how she's feeling is wanting to express love and potentially show love to this Divine Masculine. But if she doesn't deal with sort of the back end here, she doesn't really know what it means to unconditionally love, what it means to unconditionally sort of support this connection. And so I feel like she is needing to do some work in regards to some long-term stability she's built here, what it is she's committed to or has built over time, what she values. And I don't feel she's slowed down enough to reflect in order to get very clear here about what it is she's actually having to do. I think she thinks she's clear. 6 of Cups in the exact same spot. So she is really pulled by the soul recognition here in this connection. And so I do feel there's a message here coming for this connection in regards to there being a reconciliation. So if you are apart, there's certainly a reconciliation. We cannot part with our twin flame. Okay, but I feel like this reconciliation is meaning you guys coming together when there's movement. When there's movement here, progression in this journey. And I feel like it's stalled out here because Divine Feminine is needing to take action and is needing to pull her energy in a different way than she has been here. And I feel like there's a need to deal with childhood traumas that could still be blocked here, specifically when it comes to how we show love and give love to self and to others, so that we could become very clear. 2 of Swords in reverse. So this is the card of indecision. And so I feel like Page of Pentacles, and what's under that? We have the Hermit in reverse, Virgo, which is pretty much giving me this. I need to really reflect and sit with self. So I feel like things are certainly stalled out here. And I feel like she feels like she has no, like she can't make any decision here because it's sort of sitting here with the Divine Masculine. I think she feels as though he's not made a choice, or he hasn't chosen one way or another, and that the manifestation of this connection and that this opportunity will hinder on this Divine Masculine choosing this connection. But Spirit is showing that it does not, and that she isn't even at this crossroads with this Divine Masculine, that her action needs to be towards her self-reflection and healing and going within and looking at some sort of structure she has in her life and get very honest and clear about what she wants to commit to, what she's doing day in, day out. What does she value here? And deal with this. And never mind what's going on here in this stalled out connection, because it will be stalled out. There won't be any real decision to do anything here in this connection for this Divine Masculine until she takes action. King of Cups. So if there's any question here in regards to this Divine Masculine's feelings, there's love. But love within itself doesn't necessarily allow things to flow. And so King of Cups loves the deepest, but it doesn't know how to take action. It doesn't know how to take action. And so if there is a desire to have Divine Masculine move with this ship here, to take action, to move towards this Divine Feminine, she's having to deal with whatever it is she's committing to day in, day out. And so she needs to understand that he does love her. There is love here. Okay, regardless of how he's sort of expressing himself, because he's blocked here. Okay, but I think she's sort of hung up here, is what I feel. So what does she need to do? She needs to sit with self and be very honest in regards to what she wants to commit to and what it is she's dedicating herself to that's she's built over time that might not align anymore with her values, that needs to be released, what needs to stay, making space for new beginnings, slow down, reflect, heal, mourn anything here that she needs to part with. And as she does this, the divine masculine then has movement in his energy as well. Okay, so now let's ask and see if the divine feminine slows down and is able to deal with this sort of energy that she's being asked to deal with, which might take time. How will the divine masculine's energy shift? How will divine masculine energy shift? Temperance, healing, balance, workable energy. And look at the doves, peace. So Sagittarius energy coming through. I feel like there's restoring some sort of balance, bringing healing to this connection, being workable, the two being workable, being able to come together. Justice in reverse, yeah, because things are really imbalanced. And so I feel like she feels like there is a lack of justice going on here. Like the divine masculine isn't sort of acting in truth. Things are really imbalanced, and in order for it to become workable, in order for there to be a restoration and a healing of the imbalance and the things going on unjust, she's having to sit with the truth. And I feel like she hasn't yet taken the sort of truth to take action in her life, which is causing the imbalance, not the divine masculine. Libra energy. I'm going to pull one more. What will happen with the divine masculine when the divine feminine takes action on the truth? 10 Pentacles. And then we have a long-term sort of commitment. We have a long-term building of something here. Something sustainable. Okay, so I feel like there's an instability right now in regards to building something stable when it comes to Pentacle realm and this connection, until there's healing, until both energies are workable. And right now masculine isn't workable, but neither is divine feminine. And so she's having to restore some balance here by picking up the sword of truth and taking action in her life when it comes to something that is already created, and providing her with some sort of long-term stability that she's outgrown. Okay, so shift or be shifted. Or we could sit here with the 4 Pentacles on the empire we've built, which won't allow us to sort of grow. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to pull one here for this 10 Pentacles and see if we can elaborate. 2 of Cups. Yeah, so, and here we have the High Priestess. So this connection is all about us following our intuition, and sometimes our intuition is completely something that we trust blindly. We trust blindly because we don't see in front of us. And so I feel like what Spirit is showing is that there could be a balance here between these two twins, okay, these two twins, an equal give and take here, which isn't happening right now. If she deals with whatever's going on in her life right now that is providing her this sense of stability, but isn't allowing her to grow. And I also feel like for some of you guys, this could be something in regards to a marriage, because it's family and justice is a marriage. Okay, and so, and the 2 of Cups here is 2 people. So she could be involved in a marriage. She could be in an almost sort of married situation. Okay, but in order for the twins to come together and for there to be healing and workable energies, she's having to listen to her intuition and take action before she sees anything, which might be scary to her, because I feel she wants to see action here by this divine masculine before she takes action. But then that's not trusting her intuition, and that's not pushing her outside of her comfort zone. She has to trust that she's doing the best thing to expand, to release for herself, not because of this masculine energy. 3 Swords, yeah, deal with the heartbreak, deal with the separation, deal with the pain, and the 5 Cups you were seeing in reverse, and also 3 Swords in reverse. So there's a need to deal with hurts that I think she's preventing. Okay, so she's preventing it. She's preventing taking any sort of action, thinking she's, you know, preventing heartache. But really all she's doing is being 4 Pentacles rather than mourning and experiencing what she needs to in order to move forward. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, if you're resonating as this divine feminine, you have to end relationships here that do serve a purpose, that you are dependent on here financially, if that's something that you feel intuitively is right for you. But this is for those who intuitively know. They have no growth here. Intuitively know that there isn't a emotional sort of connection here between the two, you know, like the two twins here we see, which is more on this sort of soulful spiritual level. But this would require her to take action in her own life. And I feel she's preventing a Three Swords situation. Okay, and when we prevent things that are meant to happen here, we're sort of intervening with a greater truth, you know, a greater truth. So this is what I see for pile 1 for these two twins. If this resonated for you, let me know in the comments, and I will see you at the next one. Hello, hello. Pile number 2, beautiful angels. You guys picked the fluorite bug with wings, and we're looking at this twin flame connection. Okay, this is soul connection you have between you and the person on your mind. And we're looking at where are things at in this journey. We'll be doing a divine masculine versus divine feminine. And like I mentioned in the intro, this isn't about gender. So you could be born female and still resonate with the divine masculine side, and vice versa, crisscross. Okay, so you're going to resonate with one side or the other, left or right. It's up to you, and your person's going to be on the opposite side if it resonates for you. We're looking at where are both of these sort of twins at. Now, you don't have to necessarily resonate with the twin flame label so much as this soul connection, but I will be reading this as a twin flame connection. Okay, and with my experience in a reading for many, many, many twins, I will be using my experience here in relating how the energy sits here between these two based on, well, based on what comes through here. Okay, so this could be triggering for a lot of people here. So just use your own intuition over mine. If it doesn't resonate, it could be that it's not your pile. Okay, so we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message in regards to the twins. Person A versus person B, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good here of pile number 2 and what's going on here in this journey between person A and person B. Thank you, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Divine masculine versus divine feminine. What is going on in this journey, in this connection? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Feeling 2 more on this side. Wow. Okay. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. What's going on in this twin flame journey? So I do want to make mention, if one of these twins has not been triggered by a spiritual awakening, then this is most likely not your reading. Okay, in order for this to be a soul connection, a twin flame journey, one side, generally divine feminine, is triggered into a spiritual awakening. Okay, so if you're not sure, then this could still be your reading. Okay, but it is certainly a part of the journey if that happens. Okay, that's how we'll know. But each journey is different in other regards here. But spiritual awakening certainly does happen, has to happen in a twin flame journey in order for this to be a twin flame journey. Okay, I'm not talking about your typical standard matrix sort of relationship here. I'm talking about a soul connection. So let's take a look at person A. We have open your heart, 9-9, set loving boundaries. All right. 5-5, reprogram your soul, release, raise, and reclaim. Divine order, practice patience. And unification, 9-9, with aligning with abundance. And we have freedom, 21. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. And we have I feel lost without you. And we have you inspire me in so many ways. And we have dating queen, opportunities, dates, and abundance. And we have coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. Okay, let's see this side. We have honor your agreement, mission in motion with 8-8. We have 5-5, master alchemist, violet flame activation. You guys can Google that if you're unfamiliar with the violet flame activation, but essentially it's detaching from karmic things in our life. Okay, so karmic purge, yes. Mirror reflections, just finished saying that, 6-6. And speak your truth, express yourself, 8-8. And twin flame facilitator, expansive growth, 4-4. And increase your frequency, higher conscious awareness, 3-3. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just do this so we have more space here. We have transformation, 42, or the number 6. The energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. Okay, and we have, I act like I don't care when deep down I really do. Okie dokie. Family, origin, soul family, and groups. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, being happier. Mask, not showing true feelings. Hide, personify, pretend, delude, and gaslighting. Dates, meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, plan, set a date. And passion. This is supposed to say instant, but it says incense, chemistry. Instant chemistry, like each other equally and having fun. Okay. If you don't know which side is divine masculine here, then you might have not come to the right reading. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Okay, and this twin flame journey. So what's going on? This twin flame, divine feminine, is learning about setting loving boundaries, learning about her own self-worth. And how she does this is she detaches completely from divine masculine, which I feel she's having a hard time doing. She needs to release this connection and she needs to reclaim herself. But I feel like she feels lost without her twin here. And so she's navigating through this detachment and release. And so this is requiring her to step outside of this attachment and this connection and trust in the divine order in which things will unfold, which will require a lot of patience, but also trusting the universe here. And so she's being asked to focus on things that can support her, like creative things that she might be working on here, because I feel she is highly creative and inspired here by this connection. Also, I feel like she's being asked to connect with other people, even if this means dating other people, but I feel like this is more socializing, and because I feel like she might be completely cut off from socializing here, but she needs to free herself from this connection and lay a hard, fast boundary, because I feel like this divine masculine has not stepped up in any way to support her here, and so she really needs to set loving boundary here by being honest with what it is she needs, and if he is unable and not capable of showing up in this way, she needs to sort of put it out there that she is drawing the line. So if you want to call it an ultimatum, then it's an ultimatum, but either which way, she needs to learn that she can go on here and free herself outside of this connection. So she could be trying to still make things work here with this divine masculine, but all this is really doing is keeping him stuck in this energy. And so as she unplugs from this connection, she is kind of detaching from a scarcity mindset that there's only one sort of way that she could be happy here, by focusing her energy on what could make her happy here. And this will flow the energy in a different direction here, because I feel like things here with this divine masculine are quite stuck in this connection. So what's going on with the divine masculine? He needs to honor his agreement, because I feel there is a soul recognition here in what it is he's supposed to be doing, but he doesn't do what he's supposed to do until the divine feminine sort of graduates to this next level, because this is all an energetic dance between these twins. As one sort of leans into the connection, the other one sort of pulls away. And so divine masculine is acting like he doesn't care here with his feelings, and he might certainly be engaged in things here that aren't very healthy. So he could be addicted to certain bad choices in his life. He's needing to make massive transformation in his life. He is behind this mask by not being authentic and expressing how he feels about this divine feminine, but also in his own life. And so I feel like he is really needing to purge a lot of things that are unhealthy in his life, specifically bad decisions, choices, and unhealthy ways of being that I feel he's using as distraction here. And so I feel like there's a lot of karmic patterns going on in his life. And so he is being asked to sort of push himself to his highest self here, higher conscious awareness, and not to be so stuck in sort of the matrix world, because I feel the matrix world is driving a lot of his unhealthy choices and decisions. Immediate gratification, distractions, egoic things, how will I look? And so I feel like he is really being asked to grow and stretch himself in this connection. But I feel as though there's a lot of passion here that he's feeling for the divine feminine. But I feel like he's not allowing himself to do what he's supposed to do here in a healthy way when it comes to the passion. You know, so I feel like, again, there's an energy here of immediate gratification. So he might be learning about self-love and how to give proper love here. Okay, but I feel like there's an instant sort of soul recognition here with divine feminine. And so for some of you guys, this divine masculine might be dating around, might pretend like he doesn't care, so he's in third-party connections, you know. But I feel like for some of you guys, it could also be that this person is really triggered and hurt. And so instead of dating and getting back out there, they're really sort of stuck and pretending like they're not interested in connection. They're not interested in anything that has to do with this connection or connection in general, because they're just not interested according to the energy they're outputting. But this is acting like they don't care, and it's a mask, but they're leaning into unhealthy things here rather than dealing with the pain and having to really transform, which is going to push them outside of their comfort zone to deal with things that they need to, expressing themselves about pains of the past that led them to unhealthy choices. And so I feel like instead of dealing with the three swords, this divine masculine is sort of covering it up and deflecting and using or doing whatever it is that they can do so they don't have to transform. And so they're hanging on to old things here with this violet flame activation and this karmic purge that is needing to be released so that they can move forward. So the mirroring that's happening here, because I do feel there's mirroring, this divine masculine is going to hang on to the things that he needs to deal with and release when this divine feminine releases this connection, when she lays a boundary, when she chooses self. And so I feel like she's really connecting to her heart space here authentically and giving out of an unconditional love rather than a fearful love. Okay, so when it's a fearful love, she needs to attain. She wants to control the connection and know that she's attaining this divine masculine. But when it's an unconditional love, she can release and say, he can be, you know, happy in his own sort of world, and I can release this. And so this is her learning about unconditional love and unconditional love of self, because I feel like she is needing to align with greater abundance rather than with someone here who cannot be authentic, who cannot be expressive of how he feels, who is acting like he doesn't care, who might be using other things or other people in order to cover up and mask how he's truly feeling here. Yikes. Okay. So let's take a look at the tarot and see if we could dive in deeper with these two. Spirit, clear and concise message for the journey that's going on here between these two twins. What is the viewer needing to know about this connection? Clear and concise message here in regards to this journey and where things are at for the viewer. Thank you so much. So we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yes. And we have one card gone flying. which is the Emperor in reverse, Aries energy, another Emperor card, because this pack has a lot of the court cards duplicated. So we have 2 Emperors in reverse. Oh, wow, I've never seen such a thing. Never seen such a thing. And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, but I don't read bottom of the deck in reverse, and 8 Wands. Okay, that makes sense to me. And we have the Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius energy, and we have the Hangman, Pisces energy, and we have the 6 Swords. Okay, very clear to me. The only things that I feel here, okay, let me back up. So, what's the Divine Feminine needing to do? She needs to walk away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill her, which is this connection right now. Because if someone is unable to express themselves or be authentic, and she's still sort of sticking around here, she needs to lay boundaries, and this shows self-love. But I feel like she's still hanging around here, okay? And so I feel like she needs to walk away from that, and this will cascade energy towards this Divine Masculine to walk away from things that don't emotionally fulfill him. Because he's not emotionally happy with the choices he's making here. He's deflecting, he's hurting, but he's not wanting to deal with it, and so he's masking, he's acting, okay? He's acting like he's not hurt. He's acting like these are decisions he's choosing here, but really it's generated from pain. And so I feel like she's needing to get empowered in her own life, and she needs to balance out her masculine energy, okay, by setting boundaries. She's not being asked to sort of, I don't know, sit in a full Divine Feminine energy at this time, because I feel like what she needs to do is get empowered to lay boundaries, get empowered to take the reins of her own life here, or the reins back in her own life, to take action in her own life, rather than sort of maybe stick around or see what this Divine Masculine is going to do. Okay, so I feel like she's unclear, she's uncertain, she doesn't know what actions or steps she's needing to take in this connection, because this Divine Masculine is completely removed, and he's in shadow. So he's also needing to come into his Divine Masculine energy. Okay, but I feel like he's in shadow here because he's still wearing mask. He's still in the Emperor in the shadow, you know, stubborn, and potentially not stepping into his confidence here to make right decisions in his life. And so I feel like both parties are actually incapable of coming together in a healthy way at this time. And this is why these two feel apart for me. And so I feel like when the Divine Feminine pulls her energy, releases this connection, or puts boundaries, this will trigger this Divine Masculine to work with the Divine here with the Hangman in order to gain a better perspective of his own sort of position. Because I feel like he's been trying to control this connection in a way here that is egoic, that isn't really helping, and controlling things in a way here that keeps him sort of, keeps this mask alive. And so I feel like this couple, these twins, are in 5 Swords. Nothing's working. No one's happy. Both people are emotionally unsatisfied in their own world and how things are going in this connection. And so Spirit is saying, in order for there to be a moving out of 5 Swords, there has to be stepping into this masculine energy, empowering self, you know, and the Emperor doesn't sort of cower it away. The Emperor faces his fears. And I feel like the fear with the Divine Feminine is in laying boundary and saying, if I have to walk away from this Divine Masculine because emotionally I'm not getting what it is that I need here, there might be fear in facing this. Okay, because she's unclear, like, where will this go? And she doesn't see how this might sort of make sense to her. But this is the logical brain here, and Twin Flame journeys aren't about logic. So I feel like she is needing to restore balance in this connection. And when she does this, she will trigger, cascade this Divine Masculine to sit here as a Hangman, to gain a different perspective in regards to this connection. And things will manifest here as a new beginning. Okay, like an actual seed of hope here, something in a practical way, and have a breakthrough in this connection and movement. Okay, there will be movement here, because I do feel things are really stuck. Now, this doesn't mean that this Ace of Pentacles overnight is going to grow into a full-on sort of 10 Pentacles, but I feel like there's a breakthrough in order to plant a seed for something that is fruitful here. Once she sets this boundary, once he, and I use those terms very lightly because I'm not speaking gender, okay, masculine here, it reflects here and comes to his own sort of conclusion here. so that he can make the decision here and see things differently than how he's been sort of acting, because I feel he's wanting some sort of control, or has been in control here. And so he'll feel like he's lost control of this situation in the divine feminine energy, which of course he doesn't control her. But I feel like she's been sort of in his sort of world here. Yeah, Three of Cups in reverse. So the divine masculine is dealing with things, because this to me could be about addictions, you know, could be about unhealthy ways of being when I see Three Cups in reverse. You know, like someone who can't get deep, someone who focuses sort of on lighthearted relationships, who's unable to have a Two Cups, who might be using distractions like drinking and unhealthy things here and getting in the way of a Two Cups. And so I feel like this divine masculine, in order to have a breakthrough in what he's engaged with here, in order to plant a seed worthwhile here, he has to see things differently, which will only sort of come to him once the divine feminine takes action here in her own life. But I also feel like in order for there to be a reconciliation, because I do feel like these two are apart right now, you know, things haven't moved. Things haven't moved at all. Okay, so let's dive in a little deeper. We have Pisces, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Spirits, can we get a deeper layer here for the twins? What does the viewer need to know about this connection? Can we get a deeper look here? Guidance for these twins, a deeper look. What is the viewer needing to know? Any questions they might still have in regards to this connection? Clear and concise information here for the viewer. Thank you so much. And please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. We have Four Swords, Five Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Seven Pentacles, now I'm getting a message here. This could certainly be a flipped sort of energy, meaning the not necessarily flipped, but I feel like this divine feminine energy could certainly be you resonate as a male here, okay? So you could be born male, but you could be resonating as this energy. That's for some of you guys to confirm this pile. And this side could be a female, okay? But it is divine masculine energy in this connection. So I hope that makes sense for some of you guys, because that was a message for someone. So Four Swords, Five Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Seven Pentacles, Ace of Cups in reverse, Six Pentacles in reverse, and Nine Pentacles, and Three Cups again on the bottom of the deck. Although, like I say, I don't read bottom of the deck in reverse. And here we have the King of Swords. Okay, so lots of energy coming through. So what needs to happen? Divine feminine, this side is leading, needs to learn about being on her own, confident, independent. If this means moving on, creating her own stability in her own structure, in her own world, then this is what she needs to do. And so I feel as she does this, this connection will start to flow. But I feel like there's a ton of reflection right now and healing that is happening. And it is going to happen when she lays boundaries, when she is removed here so that she can reflect. And so I feel like she can contemplate in regards to where she's been putting her energy, her time, her effort, and what hasn't been paying it forward to her with this Seven Pentacles. And this will allow divine masculine to also sit and see that he hasn't been producing any abundance here. So both parties are sitting in this sort of Five Pentacles and need to sit in a Five Pentacles before they actually really reflect and contemplate about their next step and their next movement. But what this is going to do is allow them to see their own self, their own self-worth, how to give love to self, how to love self, to choose self, to have a new beginning. Because I don't feel both parties, either party is ready to give love because their cup's not full. And so I feel like what the universe is saying is that this separation or this stage in this journey right now is happening for both twins to reflect, for both twins to, you know, to sort of hit a rock bottom here in order for them to see what they need to see. Now, this doesn't mean the universe is wanting there to be pain and suffering so much as sometimes we have to suffer and sometimes we have to sort of hit rock bottom in order for us to make different decisions, for us to identify what doesn't work. And I feel like something's not working here and we keep sort of doing the same thing. And so the universe is saying, in order for things to move, in order for things to turn, we have to pull our energy back to reflect. And if the divine feminine is pulled enough away, it will allow divine masculine to reflect here and will come forward with a reconciliation and a fuller understanding here of what it is he's needing to do. Because I feel like things are really imbalanced right now in this connection. In regards to Pentacle realm, I don't feel he's giving. And because I'm seeing 2 cups here in this 6 pentacles, I don't feel he's giving emotions either in a balanced, healthy way. Expressing self in a balanced, healthy way, which we were seeing here. So I feel like he needs to express his emotions. I feel like there needs to be a balance of a give and take emotionally, and also in the Pentacle realm, which I feel like he hasn't been emotionally invested, producing anything of value here, because he doesn't even have a cup to give from. And she needs to learn about self-love and self-value before she can have a new beginning. So she needs to be independent. She needs to find her independence. She needs to be sort of single on her own without this connection sort of weighing her down. And so we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. So I feel like he's needing to come into some sort of truth about how he's been acting. And again, the Emperor, we were seeing him with those puppet strings. I feel like there's something in regards to this person that I'm tapped into energetically, sort of being in their mind in regards to strategizing. You know, like strategizing. And I feel like this person needs to connect to emotions. And so I feel like this person is being pulled out of their sort of logical mind, brain, in order to connect with their heart space, which I feel is very blocked right now. Okay, and so divine feminine, as she pulls away, as she reflects and heals on this 3 swords, it will allow divine masculine to recognize where he's been imbalanced, what he hasn't been doing here, because I feel like he hasn't been producing anything. And so he's been potentially just, you know, I don't know, leaning into his independence and his freedom. Meanwhile, she's needing to lean into her independence and her freedom and allow him the space to do whatever he's needing to do here. Because he will quickly realize that he's been in some sort of mask-wearing energy here and fulfilling some sort of deflective energy. Okay, and for some of you guys that know about the third party here, it could be that this person doesn't have to go and get sort of in this emotional 2 of Cups energy with whatever third party they're in. So their deflective sort of state is to engage with a third party energy. And when I say third party, like third person here, because it's their comfort zone. But I feel like this person is sort of still really blocked when it comes to their heart space. Okay, and so this is calling them to tap into their heart space. So let's ask for some guidance. Aside from this, I mean, this is clearly giving divine feminine guidance to lay boundary, but let's dive into final message and guidance for the viewer spirits. Final message, anything the viewer is still asking here in regards to this connection, anything I've missed, any guidance in regards to this connection for the viewer. Thank you so much. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. 4 of Wands, union, twin flames with the 1111. This is marriage. This is laying the foundation and the structure. The Emperor in reverse, Aries energy. The moon, Cancer, Pisces energy. Our subconscious, divine feminine energy. Page of Cups, opening the heart space, and 8 of Cups in reverse. And we have the King of Pentacles, and there we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit, Virgo energy, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay. So here we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. This is divine counterparts, okay? This could be the wife and the husband card. Commitment, okay? I feel like there's a dependency that both sides are needing to deal with, okay? And I feel like the divine feminine could certainly be dependent on this King of, I was going to call it the King of Pentacles here, the divine masculine to be this King of Pentacles in her world. But she needs to be her own sort of King of Pentacles here. So I feel like she's in moonlight. And Spirit is saying she's going to have to come out of the moonlight to see clearly in the sunlight an honest truth here. That maybe she's seeing this divine masculine as her own sort of long-term happiness, that this divine masculine could provide some sort of commitment and long-term stability. And in this energy, he is not here. So she's sort of sitting in this moonlight. So she needs to deal with her fear of where she's wanting to commit to and release and lay boundaries in order for there, again, to be a coming together and a foundation actually built here. Because I feel like right now, this divine masculine is completely blocked when it comes to expressing emotions with this Page of Cups in reverse. And he hasn't really stepped forward at all here. Okay, so in order for him to step forward, and I feel like also he owes her an apology here, and it could be this reconciliation as well. He also needs to take action here, but I feel like he's behind her in her lead. There's stuff sitting in the subconscious here that he's needing to deal with as well. And so as she deals with her own fears, her own subconscious, her own sort of dependency here, it allows him to reflect. And I feel like both parties are right now where they're at is they haven't walked away from what they're needing to, what it doesn't emotionally fulfill them. Okay, so if she walks away from what emotionally doesn't fulfill her, what she's sort of dependent on right now, he then takes the lead, or he then follows her lead, I should say, and walks away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill him. Then we can see two people sort of coming together here, but she has to trust the process, and he's having to step into this divine masculine energy, which I feel he's right in shadow. He's right in shadow when it comes to this, in order for there to be union, a coming together. 7 swords. Yeah, in order for things to become clear, in order for the mask to fall away with 7 swords. This is deceptive energy. The moon as well. So we can continue lying, deceiving, pretending. You know, we can continue this, but eventually it catches up when there's a shift of energy. And so I feel like the divine feminine is going to shift this energy in order for there to be, you know, something that is stable here. But I feel like the driver here needs to be her own freedom, not to come together, because Spirit will know if she's sort of just covering things up here. She literally has to choose herself and lay boundaries in an honest way here, and be patient and trust the universe that the divine masculine will figure things out as he needs to, if it's meant to be, if she still wants to be with him. And continue to be open to the universe, if that means focusing on her work or her creation or her art or her whatever she's trying to expand here. It could be other relationships if that's what she wants to do, but she can't be shut down here. Yes. So this is what I see for this group. If this resonated, let me know, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the jadeite palm stone with this bug for your pick. We're looking at twin flame connection, a soul connection between you and the person on your mind. Okay, and we're looking at where are things at in this journey. So we'll be looking at divine masculine versus divine feminine. I'm not talking gender, I'm talking solely energy. Okay, one side is one person, the other side is another person. It doesn't matter their gender so much as the energy. And we'll see where each of these twins are at. Okay, now you don't have to completely resonate with the labeling so much as it being a soul connection. And if one person here has not experienced a spiritual awakening, then chances are this isn't your reading, because in a twin flame connection, there's a spiritual awakening that must happen. Okay, generally with the divine feminine. But if it hasn't happened yet, or she is not certain, then this could still be the reading for you or your connection. Okay, but that's certainly what happens during this journey. So we're asking Spirit for a clear and concise message in regards to this connection, this twin flame journey, and where are things at with person A and person B. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of the twins. Where are these people at? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. And thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed and so grateful to be here doing your reading. Now, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to twin flames, and I've read for hundreds of twin flames. Okay, so I'm going to be reading this based on my experience of what I've seen here, not necessarily what you might have read on the internet. So just take whatever resonates for you. Okay. Over my intuition and what I'm sort of reading here, but I'm going to read the energy exactly as I see it. And all twin flame connections are completely different. So, before I pull the tarot, let's take a look at person A. We have 3-3, increase your frequency with higher conscious awareness. And we have 6-6 with clearing karma, kundalini activation. Wowzers. Open your heart, set loving boundaries, 9-9. And clearing energy blocks, activating the higher chakras, 1-1. Okay. And we also have soul with 37, or the number 10. The energy of soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God or the divine. And we have, I wish I could fix things between us. And I feel like I can be my true self around you. And we have brunette, female, darker hair, intense and focused. And we have stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at person B. Masculine twin, releasing lower self. Oh my goodness. And we have practice self-love, nurture your inner child, 10-10. And 8-8, one with self, blossoming. And 9-9, harmonize, let your light shine. And we have commitment, 13. 13 is transformation in the tarot. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being and with unwavering belief. Mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, introspection. Mental health. Okay, and will you give me a second chance? And friendship, friends, acquaintances, and networking. Okay. Interesting. You guys probably know which is masculine and feminine here. Divine feminine, divine masculine. And again, I'm not talking gender, I'm talking energy. Okay, so let's start with the divine feminine energy here. And you could be on either side here. Doesn't matter your gender. So you don't have to have necessarily dark hair, but I do feel this is coming through for specific people. Okay, dark complexion, dark hair, long hair. But the divine feminine here, I feel, is just reflecting this feminine energy that's coming through here. So what's happening to her? I feel like she is going through a kundalini awakening, which is different than a spiritual awakening, but along the same lines. Very intense. Very intense. So her life is potentially flipped upside down, but I feel like it's an alchemical thing happening within her, that her higher chakras are being activated here. And so she might start to have very intense dreams, start connecting to her psychic abilities. And so I feel like she's tapping into the divine. Her spirituality is sort of lit like a match here in her connection here with this divine masculine energy. So she's being tapped into the divine, her higher awareness of who she truly is, her authentic self. But I feel like in this connection right now, she's learning about unconditional love. She's learning about self-love. She's learning about setting healthy boundaries, but she's also opening up her heart chakra. Okay, and so I feel like this is a very spiritual part in this journey where she's lit like a match, I feel here. And so I don't feel like things are going very well between her and this divine masculine, because I feel like this divine masculine could certainly have commitment issues and has not made himself available here. And so I feel like things haven't worked out. And so I feel like she was triggered by a separation. Okay, and so she wants to come together. She wants to make things work. But this true self is her authentic self that's coming out based on what's happened here. So I feel like she feels triggered by this divine masculine who didn't choose her, who might have pulled away or might be completely removed and not committing himself. So she feels betrayed. Okay, she feels betrayed here. And so she's in a lot of pain. And so this pain triggered this kundalini, this awakening, this intense energy for her to connect with the divine, which is the initial stages in a twin flame connection here. And so I feel like she is coming back to self. And so this process is going to take a while. And when I say come back to self, it's her going through a whole process of shedding what doesn't serve her in her life. But once she sort of connects with her authentic self, she starts to identify her ego. So she could have certainly has had a dark night of the soul, ego death, experiencing great pain in order to become very awakened. So she is awakened here. And it's been triggered by pain. It's been triggered by separation. And I feel like there's a desire and a need to come together with this divine masculine. And this need is very intense here, which is causing her to really deal with things in her life here, because the pull is very strong. Okay, divine masculine energy coming through here. He's having to release the lower chakra triggers and blocks here as she's activating her higher chakras. So this is very indicative of the twin flame, because the divine masculine rules the lower three, which is the root, sacral, and the solar plexus, where there's a lot of ego blocks. And so this is potentially this divine masculine doing things here that are very much stemmed from the lower three chakras. Okay, and this could be anything from fear of commitment, intimacy, having a lot of wounds that he hasn't dealt with. And this could certainly be anything in regards to how he's relieving or covering up or deflecting or detaching from this connection that isn't allowing him to be his true self. So definitely mirroring happening here, because I feel like he is also needing to come home to himself, to become one with self. So this is pushing him to ascend, pushing him to deal with old wounds. And I feel like whatever wound was triggered in the past here is not allowing him to commit himself to this connection. Okay, to commit himself to his healing. And so I feel like there's a lot of inner child wounding happening here, or that's happened in the past, I should say, that he's needing to sit and reflect and deal with, because it's impacting the way he loves himself. And so I feel like if he can't love himself, if he can't be in a full cup, he isn't able to produce here in this connection. And I feel he intuitively knows this, but he might not be able to express this. And so instead of showing up here and disappointing, I feel like this is his way of pulling away, his way of having to not sort of step up here in a connection when there's a lot of trauma that needs to be dealt with. But I do feel as though this isn't over for these two. Clearly, I feel like he doesn't know why he's pulled away so much. And I feel like he knows he wants to be with this divine feminine, knows he wants another chance to make things right. But I feel like he has to sort of find some sort of balance, some sort of stability here. And so with mental health here, I feel like for this energy that I'm reading, it could really be that this twin is, for some of you guys, I'm getting, could have a disability here when it comes to how they think. Okay, this could be autism. This could be any sort of mental health sort of thing going on in this person's life. But I feel like this person is really driven by the matrix, okay? Especially because I'm seeing releasing lower self and this mental health thing that I feel like is steering them. And I feel like it's steered them away from this connection. And for some of you guys, it's also coming through that you guys could have certainly have been friends before this sort of intense connection has taken place here. But I do feel like the divine masculine here wants to remain friends, wants to stay connected here, wants to be connected, but at the same time, I feel like the intensity here has this energy sort of spooked, if you will. Okay, so I feel like this connection is mirroring back to divine masculine, all of his trauma, all of his inner child wounding, a need to practice self-love, which so does this divine feminine when she finds her sort of authentic self. And this divine masculine is needing to find self and work with lower chakra blockages and get out of his own sort of way here in order for them to reconnect and try again. Okay, and then when I say try again, sometimes these connections can be on again, off again. So I feel like it's an off again, very intense separation. It could be a first separation for some of you guys, you know, where this divine masculine is pulled away kind of, and it seems permanent. okay, from this divine feminine, because I feel like this divine feminine is really feeling betrayed here. So I don't feel like this is completely cyclical. And if it is where he's pulled away in the past, this feels almost like it's they feel very separated from each other, almost like it's finalized, because I feel like this triggering is happening for a very good reason. The divine feminine is needing to take action in her own life, and same with the divine masculine here. He's needing to make massive transformation here, especially when it comes to his ideologies and his beliefs in regards to what does commitment look like. You know, and he might be a really, really sort of a commitment phobe because of the fact that he's needing to love self and his sort of engagement with what that looks like. Because I think he has unhealthy understanding of what commitment means, an unhealthy experience in the past of what a relationship could look like and what that would mean. Okay, so let's take a look at a deeper layer here with these twins for pile 3 spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much. We have 2 pentacles. This is the turbulency. I need to choose back and forth. The Tower, sudden falling, collapsing of what's not sustainable. King of Swords, Aries, Leo, no, not Aries, sorry, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Since I'm saying Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, could certainly be a fire sign as well. Coming through here, as well as air. Lots of passion, but also there's being in the mind here. And we got the mental health. 6 swords. Lots of swords. 6 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, King of Wands. I was feeling Aries, Leo, Sag. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Hangman, Pisces energy. And we also have Strength in reverse. I'm feeling some of you guys could have certainly come from pile 2. For some of you guys, I'm also getting another message. This isn't for everyone. This could be same sex, like gender. Okay, I'm feeling it could be 2 males, masculine energy, but doesn't have to be. You could just be more dominant in your masculine energy if you're the divine feminine. Okay, I just want to see what we have. Hierophant in reverse, Pisces energy, and we have 5 swords in reverse. Okay, so what's going on here? I feel like there has definitely been a separation, and I feel like this divine feminine was really triggered into her world being flipped upside down here. Okay, everything's sort of flipped upside down because this, I feel, this divine masculine is pulled away, and so I feel like this is much needed in order for their worlds to collapse. The world collapses around them so that they can build on the truth, and I feel like divine masculine could certainly still be, you know, dealing with what's in front of him logically here with this King of Swords. You know, having to, I feel actually this divine feminine is sort of going back and forth between her mind and this intuitive energy that's pulling her out of this to connect with her higher chakras. Because I feel like when we tap into these higher chakras, our mind is at odds with our intuitive knowing. And so I feel like she might be stuck in her mind, causing a lot of anxiety here, but this allows her to shed the ego and things, the illusion in her life. So I feel like both of these parties are moving forward in this journey right now, even though things might feel as though they're very stuck. There's a lot happening internally with both of these. And so although they feel like they haven't really won here, I feel like there is an ego death, okay, with the 6 wands in reverse and with this Tower falling away of the ego. So divine feminine could have been experiencing, like I said, a dark night of the soul. And I feel like as she does this, there's movement in this connection, because in a twin flame, this energy is very intertwined, where if she experiences this, there's a lot of movement happening with the divine masculine. I feel like divine masculine is needing to work on his self-confidence and his ability to sort of lean into his confidence to take action. And so as she's going through this period of more internal things going on, where she's mind battling her intuition and her spiritual growth, she's working with the divine. So is divine masculine here in becoming enlightened, seeing things differently, understanding his own sort of ability and what he needs to do and his own confidence. But I feel like there's a lot of turbulency here in this connection, and there might be a lot of going back and forth, like with the divine feminine, it's like, you know, the logical understanding versus what she intuitively knows but doesn't know how she knows, and it kind of contradicts her logical thought. And so she's going back and forth, like, should I or shouldn't I? Is this real? Is this not? Do I take action? Do I not? And at the same time, divine masculine is also back and forth, not sure how to proceed, going back and forth regarding should he involve himself in this connection, what he should do, and kind of going back and forth. But I feel like he is not leaning into his courage. I feel like he is stepped away. He's pulled away. Okay, he's pulled away because he hasn't yet leaned into the courage, hasn't seen his confidence here. And I'm seeing ego death, okay, with this Tower. So as divine feminine sheds her ego, divine masculine will have to shed things in his life where they're also getting in the way of him taking action, because this connection is a mirror. What happens with person A really impacts what's going on here with person B. And person B, which is this divine masculine, needs to do this introspection, needs to reflect on their old wounds, and needs to lean into his courage and fear in order to not be so held back or even pulled back or running away here. And I feel, because we saw the High Priestess in reverse, this is blocked intuition. So I feel like both parties sort of have blocked intuition right now, but I feel like this divine feminine is working on breaking free from that blocked intuition, because she's learning to activate her higher chakras, which is all about aligning with her intuition and trusting the divine here. So we're going to pull another layer here to see what is going on in this connection here, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of these twins. Can we see a deeper layer as to what's going on here in this connection? So I have the Queen of Cups reversing itself. Yeah, blocked intuition. I'm getting Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Learning about unconditional love. Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. A practical new beginning. We have the Star in reverse, Aquarius energy. Four of Cups. The Fool, Aquarius energy coming out again. Feel it like that. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands in reverse, and here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and under that the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and under that 9 Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. So, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this connection is going to go through its cycles, okay? And it's going to take as long as it takes until we get to the next cycle and the next cycle. And so these cycles is where we have growth in between. Okay, and so I feel like the growth here is happening on either side. And I feel like this divine feminine, she might feel a lot of love here, but she's still learning about unconditional love and fearful love and controlled love, when to give love and when not to, setting boundaries, learning about self-love. And I feel like she feels very rejected right now by this divine masculine. Very rejected. Okay, so this is like unrequited love. And so I feel like in order for there to be a new beginning in a practical way here, this divine masculine is needing to, you know, take a leap of faith here. But I feel like he isn't going to just take a leap of faith here because he's held back, like we were seeing with the Strength, by his fears. Okay, and so I feel like she is needing to trust the universe and trust the process, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about fate. It's all about working with the universe in order to have movement here. And so I feel like she has to trust in the process. She has to allow the process to take place here with the Fool, not to resist, not to get in her mind that back and forth with the King of Swords. And so I feel like she's losing hope in this connection. And divine masculine could certainly be as well, but I feel like this is more this divine feminine talking about her losing hope. She's not trusting the universe. She doesn't see the long term. All she knows is she's stabbed in the back. There's a separation. Her world's upside down. He seems like he doesn't care. And so she doesn't see, how could we come together? How could there be anything in the future here? You know, things are stopped. And so I feel like this divine masculine isn't taking action on, you know, this connection. He isn't moving forward on this connection. And so she feels like he's not interested, or he's pulled away and he doesn't care. But I feel like he is stuck in this 8 swords. He feels limited. Okay, and the limitations are all things that he's telling himself, but she's also in an 8 swords, and because she's also telling herself certain things that she's starting to believe. But she needs to break out of that mental prison and trust the universe here, and trust her intuition, and learn about unconditional love, and let the universe handle the rest. That things will move, that she doesn't need to lose hope here. But I think she doesn't see this sort of long-term, how she can attain what it is that she wants here, and so she might be losing hope. But Spirit is showing there is a new beginning. that could happen here with these twins, that will happen with these twins once they sort of go through a cycle, which they're needing to go through. And I feel like it's the mind over the heart, and her learning about, you know, opening her heart space here and letting the universe sort of take the wheel and trusting this process that will free her. And as she frees herself, the divine masculine will also free himself of any sort of limitation that he has in this connection in regards to what it is he wants for the long term here in this connection. Because I feel like he's not taking action at all here. He's not trusting in his own ability to do so. Okay, so let's ask for some guidance for the viewer here. And I don't know which side you're resonating. Chances are you're probably resonating with this divine feminine, but we'll ask for guidance for the viewer. So we have 7 of Wands falling like that. I'm going to leave it. Guidance for the viewer, Spirit, clear and concise message. Anything I've missed, anything the viewer's needing to know in this connection, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Are they needing to know anything I've missed? Guidance, anything to clarify here? King of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, 4 of Cups. Why is this 7 of Wands here sideways? Page of Swords. Why is this King of Wands here in reverse? Ace of Cups in reverse. And why is this 4 of Cups here? 5 Wands and 5 Cups and Hermit. Okie dokie. Very clear. Virgo energy. Both parties needing to do the inner work. And although this process sucks because we might feel very separate, especially this divine feminine is feeling very separated from this divine masculine. Okay, but there's some sort of relief this divine masculine feels in this sort of separation here because he's needing to straighten things out. Okay, now this doesn't mean he wants to be separated, but he needs the space here. And she needs the space here. And she needs the space to do the work, to start to actually look at what she needs to here. And what she needs to look at is understanding where she's led by sort of thought and where she's led by intuition, and sort of understand the difference between the two, learn about unconditional love, okay, setting loving boundaries, filling her own cup. And so I feel like both parties here could certainly be quite defensive if they were to get together right now. So the best thing they can do is sort of be apart here. You know, be apart until they drop their defenses. Because once they understand and begin to understand the truth of what's going on here, even though they might not mentally understand it so much as understand and what's going on here, and an intuitive knowing, they can't really take action here and be successful. You know, they can't really confidently take any action. And so I feel like the rejection that's happening here is sort of needed in order for there to be a fuller understanding of a greater truth. Otherwise, Spirit's showing there's conflict, defenses, you know, 5 Wands, you know, people disagreeing. So there needs to be sort of a game, so to speak. And this is how energy works. It's not necessarily a game, quote unquote, as it is like each side sort of having movement in this journey, in this dance, you know, because it's not an overnight sort of thing that just happens. It's a movement by movement of energy that is the journey that gets these two to the end. But I feel like right now where they're at is feeling rejected, you know, and having to mourn whatever has happened here in order to gain better clarity about what they need to do, what they want. Okay, so they could take round 2, round 3 in this connection. I feel it's early on here, yeah, because things still haven't manifested. So it's still young in this connection, I feel. Okay, I feel it's still young. I feel like there's a lot of moves still left here. There's a lot of things that still need to happen. Divine Feminine is still certainly learning about, you know, filling her own cup, and Divine Masculine is learning about self-love so that they can both become full in their own cup so they can offer each other love. And Divine Masculine needs to learn about his own confidence here in what it is that he can do to make things work, because I feel like he automatically deflects to rejection here of the Divine Feminine love because he doesn't feel worthy. He doesn't have the confidence to accept it. So he'd rather just not take it. Okay, so he's defensive, he's guarded. Okay, but he needs to do some sort of reflecting here and understanding of this. And I feel like Divine Masculine could certainly be more mind over heart. And so if he understands, at least in a sort of a knowing level here, why he's doing what he's doing, he might tend to then understand what he needs to do different, which will take him reflecting, which will take him sort of having to experience this separation, this sort of looking back on things that didn't work because of him. Okay, although this is a dance of two and it really isn't necessarily him that's doing this, it's the two energies that are kind of creating this separation, creating this loss, creating this pain, because this is healing wounds. This is having to really reflect on self. This is this connection providing a mirror to both of these people in order to become best versions of self and learn about unconditional love of self and of each other. Okay, but it's going to be a game or a journey or a step-by-step process that happens here. So this is temporary. Okay, this loss is temporary. Judgment in reverse. Yeah, both people still haven't been apart enough to really sit with a greater truth. And what I feel is divine feminine might still be seeing what divine masculine didn't do, or what he did do and didn't do. And so this is still needing to come with a greater awareness of truth, that the divine feminine also needs to look at self, needs to look at their own way that they give love to self, if they are capable and ready here for unconditional love, without the ego getting in the way of wanting to control, wanting commitment, wanting something, because she wants something. Well, that's a condition. She needs to learn to trust the universe, trust her intuition, work with her spiritual energy here. And I feel like this is a greater truth she's not seeing just yet. And the greater truth he's needing to see is his wounding, why he's running, why he's rejecting, why he's not ready, where is his confidence. Okay, so greater truth, sitting with the karmas. So this is what I see, pile number 3. I hope this resonated for you. I love you very much, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys picked the Art Nouveau Compact here. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at this twin flame connection, shall we? So you're in a twin flame connection, or you think you might be, a soul connection. Disregard the label, because we're really just looking at energy here, although I will be reading it like a twin flame connection, okay, because this is what I do, and I've read for many twins, and so I'm very familiar with twin flame journeys and connections, and they're all different, okay, and no one can tell you who's your twin or anything like that, so you got to really use your intuition. Although what I can tell you is that one twin has gone through a spiritual awakening, or is having to go through a spiritual awakening in order for this to be a twin flame connection. And if neither party have gone through this, then this isn't your reading, okay? But you might be uncertain, and if you're uncertain and it hasn't happened yet, then it could certainly still be, your reading. But this is something that happens on this journey here, okay? So we're looking at masculine, divine masculine energy versus divine feminine. And I'm not talking gender, I'm just talking energy here. So what this means is one side is predominantly in the divine masculine and one side is in the predominant divine feminine. I don't know which side is what. Okay, and it's nothing to do with gender. And you can fall on either side, masculine or feminine, because we each have masculine, feminine energy. Okay, so you resonate with one side and your other half here is going to resonate, or is going to be the other side. Okay, so use your intuition over mine. We'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection, Spirit, of pile number 4. What's going on with this connection? Person A and B, where are they at in this journey? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection and the viewer. What's going on here in this journey? All right, and we'll pull one of these. Clear and concise message for pile number 4. What's going on here between person A and person B, in divine masculine and divine feminine? Okay, those two. Okay, let's take a look. Person A, 7-7, mystical messages, follow the signs. Oh, wow. Remember your identity, 2-2, you can do it. And reprogram your soul, release, raise, reclaim, 5-5. And 11-11, I am enough. Let go of expectations. Okay. And we have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth, transformation, freedom, unhealthy habits and behaviors. And I am faced with constant reminders of you. And we have tenderness, 40. The energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. And camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past and make memories. Okay, and past love, the past lover. Wow. Okay. Wowzers, wowzers. So, person B, spiritual awakening, shift or be shifted, 2-2, like I mentioned. And we have 8-8 with queen, divine feminine, okie dokie. And we have twin flame facilitator with expansive growth, 4-4. And we have 1-1, acknowledge, take responsibility. Wow, okay. We have soul, 37. Or the number 10, the energy of soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God or the divine. Wow. I am filled with regret. Okay. And unhealthy attachment. And new love, new person, unknown person. Okay. And healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. And boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure, issues. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. And we have sacred sexuality, accessing the unified field with 9-9. And we have, I get emotional when I think of you. Okay, wow, this is very interesting energy here. Let's put this aside and put the tarot here. Okay. So, one side's divine masculine, one side's divine feminine. Like I said, nothing to do with gender. Both sides could be males, both sides could be females. One's male, one could be female. Doesn't matter which. What we're looking at is the masculine energy versus divine feminine. And this side is the divine masculine energy. Okay, and this side is divine feminine in this connection. So, let's take a look at this energy. What's going on with the divine masculine? I feel like the divine masculine is being woken up. And I do feel as though divine feminine's been woken up for quite some time. Okay, in this connection. Certainly divine feminine's leading this twin flame connection. I feel like this divine masculine could have been, you know, in ego, wearing a mask in his world. But I feel like he's starting to see signs, symbols, synchronicities, dreams that's waking him up to what this connection is. And I feel as though he is needing to release a lot of the falsities in his world, you know, ways of being, things that are unhealthy in his world. So he can have addictions, he can have bad habits, he can have ways of connecting that aren't supporting his growth. That he's needing to learn to see what's real and what's not, release what isn't real. And so I feel like there is a separation between these two, or has been. And it could be that he is remembering the connection and its true authenticity and not wanting to lose this connection. So I feel like anytime this divine feminine might feel pulled away or might seem like she's at risk or a loss here, it kicks him into this reminder of what this connection is. And it kicks him into gear here because he's remembering the soul connection that he has here. The need for him to transform, the need for him to deal with whatever he has within him that's been created over a lifetime of matrix, you know, ideologies and beliefs and social structures and constructs here that might have led him to believe that he was something he's not or someone he's not. And so I feel like this divine masculine and this connection, I feel like might have felt not good enough for this divine feminine for some time. And so he's needing to release the idea of him that he's not good enough or that he's not ready or that he can't fulfill some sort of obligation here, because I feel like there's some sort of contractual understanding here of a soul recognition that he needs to be something here for her. And I use the word needs to be loosely here. And so I feel like he is needing to lean into trusting where this connection is going. Okay, so I feel like his remembrance of this connection, his sense of who she is triggering him towards making this change. And so I feel like this connection, where it's at, is it's evolving to the next stage, wherever you guys are at here, because I feel like this isn't an early stage, because I feel like this divine masculine might have been stuck for some time in that masked energy. Okay, and so I feel like he is now sort of waking up to the connection, like he's actually now seeing things in front of him that he might have shut down or wasn't awakened to, like the power and the intensity of what this connection is and what this divine feminine means to him. And so I feel like he is having dreams and potentially seeing her name or seeing repeat numbers or being very much awakened to what this connection could mean, because he's having to rearrange certain things in his life here and let go of certain things in order to come back to self and know that he is enough. His authentic self is enough. And so his egoic self, the self that he created here, made him feel like he wasn't good enough, or he wasn't capable, or he couldn't step forward and do what it was that he needed to do. Specifically because I feel like he might have been battling certain unhealthy things in his life that might have had a hold of him, keeping him stuck in habitual things that wasn't allowing him growth, wasn't allowing him to expand. So if he's been kind of removed emotionally, I feel like there is this, with this tenderness, an opening of the heart space here, connecting to his feelings here, opening his heart in order to approach her and things in his world a little differently. Because I feel like it's not, and I say her loosely, divine feminine, I feel like it is how he engages with this divine feminine is how he sort of engages with the world in a way here. So if he's been removed emotionally here from her, he's been detached from his emotions in his world. Okay, like in general. So I feel like him being receptive and open to this side of him is now triggering him to look at his whole world and how he engages and how he expresses his emotions, how he connects with his heart, how he's approaching the world differently. So this is a big change for this divine masculine. So it's kind of like a mini sort of spiritual awakening, the shedding of the false self, the ego self, the self that felt like he had to hang on to habits or unhealthy things here in order to, hang on to it so that he could protect himself or so that he could mask up his true feelings. His true feelings is being vulnerable and open, which he might have avoided. And so I feel like he's really sort of connecting to the energy this divine feminine has put off, or is putting towards him, or has put towards him. And for some of you guys, like I said, if you are in a period of separation here, he's really sort of pulled by this energy at this time and thinking about this connection, and it's giving him a reason to make these changes. But I don't feel this is a separation for all of you guys. I feel like there's just this finally in tune with the energy of this divine feminine and seeing it and slowly and surely shedding the inauthentic self. What's going on with this divine feminine? So she's definitely had a spiritual awakening. I feel like her world has been sort of shifted here. Okay, and I'm going to say she, but it could be a male, but this is divine feminine energy. And so she's tapping into her higher self, the divine, and I feel like she's had to heal a lot. And I feel like she could have, this isn't for all of you guys, but I feel like she's had to separate from potentially a connection here that's caused a lot of heartbreak in her world. Okay, and so she's had to deal with the ego death. She's had to deal with certain things in her life that she's had to really sit with and reflect on it. What is her? What isn't her? Like everything we kind of do here with this spiritual awakening. Be very honest with our life. Do we want to continue down a certain path? Do we want to let go of certain relationships? And so I feel like there is a way that she was attaching to relationships, and certainly this relationship in the past, or a past relationship, which was unhealthy. So she had unhealthy attachments. It could have been stemmed from an anxious attachment style. Okay, so I feel like there was an unhealthy attachment to relationship. And I do feel like it might have been something that she's had to work her way through, and it's been really reflected to her by this connection in order for her to move on, for her to have closure, for her to heal. And so I feel like she's been focused on healing. I feel like she's been focused on moving forward with herself. But I feel like she still has a very soft place here in her heart for this divine masculine. And I feel like he still really pulls at her heart space here, but she's learning about unhealthy attachments and how to healthily deal with her emotions. And so I feel like she also might have experienced rejection here and feeling abandoned, okay, and with this sacred sexuality, feeling rejected. And so I feel like she is needing to sit with understanding what is the ego self and what is the true self, and separating the pain from the truth, in which there really is no pain here. There really is no rejection. There really is no sort of trauma once she pierces through this and connects with the divine and knows that she's a pure being here that is already healed, that the only sort of limitation is that of the mind, that of the experience, in which she can either hang on to or she could let go of. And so I feel like she's learning to take responsibility and letting go of things that are weighing her down, that are making her feel like she needs to attach, that she needs to externally sort of depend on anything else to allow her to move forward, to allow her to heal, that it comes from within. So when she connects with her truest self here, she is having massive growth here, okay? And so with this twin flame facilitator, I do feel she is obviously leading this connection by kind of moving forward in her own development. And with this new love here, I feel like she is finally connecting to her heart space in a completely different way. How she loves is completely different. So for the first time, it's unconditional love rather than loving out of an unhealthy attachment. Because in a twin flame connection, how it certainly could start off is love based on fear. You know, fear of losing someone, fear of needing to have an attachment, fear of abandonment. And so we feel these emotions, but we need to have certain things fulfilled that are very egoic. And so she's learning to love differently, to love unconditionally, to let go of divine masculine energy, to love him in a way that's unconditional, and to love self maybe for the first time in a way that understands her true self-worth. And for some of you guys, like I said, she might have been in another connection here in which she was needing to release in order to come together in this twin flame union, which has caused a lot of pain and heartbreak here that she's had to work through in that unhealthy sort of connection, in that matrix connection here, okay? And so this connection would be her new love. But I feel as though for the bulk of you guys, this new love is her learning to love differently for the first time. This is a different way for her to be in connection that she hasn't experienced before, you know, and actually tap into her own self-love, being completely from sort of this divine space of heart and oneness with self, and loving from that place rather than from a place of attachment or fear, okay? Because she's taking responsibility of her pains from the past and her addictions of having to attached to external things here to provide her with a sense of security or stability. So I feel like she's gone through quite a bit. I feel like she's moving forward. I feel like she's putting things behind her that have held her back. And I feel like she is still, like I say, emotionally sort of feeling here for this divine masculine. But I don't feel like it's the driver of her decisions so much anymore. Okay, and so she's navigating through this. So let's see. Let's get a deeper look at this twin flame connection. Spirit, can we get a deeper look at this connection for pile 4, the viewer? What are they needing to know about this journey and this connection between the twins? What is pile 4 needing to know right here, right now? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4 and this connection. What is going on in this connection? So, 10 cups. Wow. Ultimate emotional fulfillment between two people. Justice, balance, healing, restoring a sense of justice. Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. Planting the seed for a practical new beginning. And 10 Swords, an ending, painful ending, getting clear, getting certain. Strength in reverse, Leo energy. So a need to lean into your courage, not to be held back. And 8 swords, limiting thoughts. And 3 cups, reconciliation. And under that, we have the 6 of wands in reverse. And under that, we have 3 swords. Okie dokie. So, I feel like there's suffering that's happened between these two. Okay, there's definitely suffering. And I feel like there's been an ending. Maybe multiple endings here for sure. That's probably happened over time. Because there's a need to get very clear and certain here. And there's a need to lean into confidence and strength here to do the right thing. And to identify... All these needles are pointing to the crown chakra here. Okay, and I feel like the needle is about getting clear and really seeing a greater truth here that the ending of this connection has provided. And I feel like I'm saying ending because I do feel like there's been a separation or an understanding that things will come to an end here unless we lean into our courage and aren't too held back here. So there's 10 cups potential, ultimate fulfillment. Both parties understand they can have here. Okay, two parties coming together to live a happily ever after here, emotionally satisfied, to restore balance, to take action on a truth, to plant the seed, okay, of something that can grow. But I feel like there's still this 8 swords that is needing to be dealt with, which is what are we believing that's limiting us, that isn't allowing us to free us, that isn't allowing us to come together here. So I feel like this last separation, okay, this last separation, whatever it was that kept you guys apart, you guys could certainly be together again, has triggered there to be an opening here. And I feel like this opening is dealing with the 8 swords differently, allowing things to break open here when it comes to mindsets. So I feel like if there hasn't been a reconciliation yet, there will be a reconciliation happening. If you guys have reconciled already, I feel like you guys have reconciled because I feel like this next phase here is one in which you guys have looked at some part of the pain here that wasn't allowing you guys to have success here in this connection, that was allowing you guys to shed the ego parts of self. You know, this divine masculine is having to shed his false self with this 6 wands in reverse. And this divine feminine was understanding that things couldn't work here in this connection. Things can't work here in this connection if there's a lot of pain and suffering here. So I feel like this reconciliation that's happening or has happened is because of the fact that there's been a cycle here in which both parties have grown, both parties have reflected, both parties have had to come to some sort of understanding of truth in order to restore balance in this connection. And I feel like up until now, there's been a lot of fear and there's been a lot of, you know, being held back. But I feel like this is cracking open this 8 swords, this limiting thought or belief that didn't allow there to be a seed of a new beginning here in a practical way, you know, of a future here. So I want to see what's with this 8 swords, and then we'll dive in deeper. What's with this 8 swords here, Spirit? What's the 8 swords about in this twin flame connection? Yeah, moving out of 5 swords and the 4 cups. So I feel like there was a lot of rejection happening here, okay, with this 4 cups. And mostly I feel like if this divine masculine wasn't seeing what the divine feminine was sort of offering here as a cup, it's caused a lot of 5 swords. And so I feel like this last separation has caused the twins to move out of 5 swords onto calmer grounds, because I feel like this 8 swords was restricting the couple from coming together because of this rejection, because of this need for this divine masculine to understand, you know, why is there unrequited love, or why is he turning down this cup of love, or why is he feeling like he's not deserving, you know, because I feel like there's these unhealthy habits, there's this need to really sort of sit with a greater truth where he's really reflecting on his own thoughts about how he could receive love here and moving out of that energy, because it's caused nothing but a 10 swords here and caused them to sort of sit in this cowardly energy, really held back. So I feel like the coming forward, this 3 cups is a reconciliation, is an understanding. So I'm going to clarify this 3 cups, and then we're going to do a deeper dive here. What's with this 3 cups? Seven of Wands. Yeah, so he's wanting to fight for this connection. Okay, he's coming forward with this reconciliation. He wants to come together. I don't think he wants to be in this. Like, look how symbolic this is. Okay, talk about follow the signs. Sitting here in this 8 swords. I do feel both were in 8 swords at some point in time, but I feel like potentially the divine feminine has broken free of her 8 swords, which is limiting thoughts of what keeps her sort of in that prison. And so it's his turn to sort of break free from this jail, from this cage, you know, break free from those thoughts. And so because we're still seeing the cage, I feel like he's not fully broken free, but like I said, I'm really being pulled to this opening here. So he's coming out of his limiting thoughts. And I think the limiting thought here was, I'm not good enough, or I'm not deserving of, you know, this let go of expectation, which was, I'm not, what I kept saying, like, good enough to even engage here or do anything in this connection that's going to be worthwhile. And so now he's coming forward with this reconciliation, understanding that he wants to free himself from this thought, that it's not true, because he's now tapping into a greater, more authentic part of him that knows that he is absolutely perfect as he is. Okay, and so this brings him out of the 4 cups and into this 6 swords, which is out of 5 swords energy that he's created, and this potential 10 swords in this connection. So let's get a deeper look at this connection, if we can, Spirit, a deeper look at the twins here in this connection. Can we get a little bit deeper here? Anything I've missed, anything pile 4 is needing to know right here, right now, the viewer in this connection, a deeper look at this connection, Spirit. Thank you so much. So, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Strength now in the upright. Leo energy. The Empress. Oh my goodness. It landed in my lap. The Empress in reverse. We have 9 of Cups, clarified by the Page of Cups. And we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. And why is this Empress here? And we have the 5 Wands. And we have the 9 Wands, and under the 9 Wands we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and Justice, Libra at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So what do we see here? We see a potential here that hasn't been realized, because we saw the 10 Cups. We understand a potential, but in a practical way, there has to be planting of the seed. Okay, and what this is going to take is courage. And I feel like Divine Masculine hasn't really allowed himself to step into his courage. He's been very held back to allow things to progress. And I feel like he understands emotionally with this 9 Cups that this connection provides emotional happiness, that he has to open his heart space here with this Page of Cups, beginning stages of opening the heart space. You know, connecting, like I said, with this tenderness, because I do feel this Divine Masculine has had a hard time connecting with feelings and emotions. Now we're seeing 2 Cups here. So this is separation, or whatever's caused him to really take a look at emotional happiness, self, and 9 plus 1 is the 10 Cups. Understanding what this connection means, what this Divine Feminine could mean to his world. He can go from what he identified as a 9 Cups with this mask, self-fulfilling things that were unhealthy, in a 9 Cups, gratifying self, okay, thinking this is ultimate happiness, to tasting a 10 Cups here, which I feel like the 10 Cups here is coming together with Divine Feminine. But I feel he's coming forward with an apology. So that's the 3 Cups I was seeing, which is reconciliation, him coming with an apology, opening this heart space, understanding what a 9 Cups is and what a 10 Cups is, stepping into this courage, recognizing this way of expansion and forward movement all rests on his own ability to lean into his courage. And so I feel like he's working through being able to receive love, because right now I feel like this Divine Feminine has been unconditionally loving, but I feel like she's pulled her energy back at some point in time here, which has made him realize that he's been shut down, incapable of receiving love and giving love here. And she's been learning about self-worth. But I feel like this 9 Wands is the resilient spiritual warrior here. So I don't feel like this Divine Masculine is given up at all. Okay, so I feel like there's been a lot of arguments, and there's been a lot of conflict, and there's been a lot of movements in this connection, trying to figure out the right thing to do here, because I feel like both parties were needing to learn about their own sort of role. And so I feel like the Divine Feminine is learning about not being dependent on this Divine Masculine, because I feel like she's been dependent on what he's been doing. You know, and it's been determining her own self-worth, her own value, how she's been seeing herself, or she's been giving love. Yeah, and it's been creating imbalance here. And so they're needing to restore balance and justice here in this connection, which I feel is what they're working on doing right now, because I feel like we're somewhere over here, you know, and him realizing that nothing in a practical way has really manifested here because of his inability to allow himself to move forward. Things have been stunted. Okay, so let's get final words here. Guidance for the viewer, spirits. Anything I've missed, guidance for the viewer in this connection. Anything I've missed, final words in pile number 4's connection here. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Thank you, spirits, for this guidance. And 2 more. One, 2. 8 cups. I don't read bottom of the deck reversed. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, Pentacle City. 10 of Wands in reverse. And the Tower. And the 8 cups under that Wheel of Fortune. And under Wheel of Fortune, the Devil. Capricorn energy. Okay. So, what is Spirit showing? Spirit is showing the universe understands that this is a fated connection, that the experience we're having, we're needing to experience in due time. As you hear my cat scratching. So, the universe takes the wheel here, and I feel like things have certainly been unhealthy here on both sides. The Divine Masculine dealing with unhealthy habits and behaviors, and the Divine Feminine dealing with addiction when it comes to how she attaches to external things, unhealthy attachments. Okay, that has been keeping her unhealthily sort of dealing with this connection. My cat really likes to scratch here. Okay, and so I'm going to let him in, and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So, the universe takes the wheel. It doesn't align with our ego's timing here, okay? So I feel like things are turning for the better here. And why they're turning for the better is because both the twins are walking away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill them with this 8 cups. When we engage in 8 cups, we are honest about what doesn't emotionally fulfill us. If we're unhappy, if we're dealing with things that are unhealthy, if we start to see that things are inauthentic, we start to not connect with it emotionally. We start to really connect with what our feelings are. And I feel like both parties have done this. And so I feel like Divine Feminine has walked away at one point from this connection, potentially many times with this Wheel of Fortune, cycles, okay, and the 10 Swords. And they could certainly be apart. Like I said, he's thinking about her because she's walked away, okay? And he doesn't want to lose her. But I feel like she's going to walk away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill her. And here we see the 2 swans, which to me is all about twin flames, okay? And so I feel like he's needing to walk away. And so there's movement here. Slow movement. It's been slow. Okay, it's been slow. And I feel like the movement here is now with the pentacle that I feel like was unplanted. Okay, there was an unplanted pentacle here in which Divine Masculine is having to sort of move through and move with here, because I feel he can't know more. He can't know more in the state that he was in with this 10 Wands. The straw that broke the camel's back, the burden is sort of collapsed here, and that's this Tower collapsing. Okay, so the 10 Wands have fallen, the 10 Wands of burden, the illusion has fallen, and I feel like this was triggered by the last separation or the understanding that he could lose this Divine Feminine. There's a realization here. And so I feel like he's needing to choose now, okay? He's needing to choose. Now that he sees the truth, that the illusion, the mask has fallen away, that he's been up and down, topsy-turvy, that the decision has been his to move forward here in this connection, to actually manifest what he needs to, and how he's going to have to sort of take action in order for there to be expansion, is to show up with the 3 Pentacles, to work together, to show up. This is collaboration, okay, working with another to create a third thing here. And the third thing is a relationship, is a family, is a child, is a business, is a thing, but he needs to show up in order to create with her. If he doesn't show up, they can't create the pentacle thing here, okay? So I feel like he is moving towards this, and I feel like he's in this sort of upside down energy, because I feel like he might have not in the past have been awakened to the realization of what this connection is. And so it's hit him like a tower. You know, the 10 of Wands has collapsed. His realization that this seed was never really planted. And so it's been very, very, very slow. And so here he goes from the slow sort of growth here of something that was stunted and very stuck to wanting to work together because he's had to make the decision to walk away from something that wasn't emotionally fulfilling him. Emperor in reverse. Yeah, so he was stuck in this shadow emperor, which was either lacking confidence or in ego, and he's having to shed the ego in order to, you know, take responsibility and accountability here in this connection and show up, because I feel like he hasn't been able to step in his power here. Aries energy, High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, so this is where we're ignoring our intuition, where we're not sort of doing what we know intuitively is the right thing to do or taking action on. Is his realization, is the fact that he's had this 10 wands collapse on him in this tower. Okay, so Spirit, anything else that Pile 4 needs to know in regards to this reverse Emperor, High Priestess in reverse? Okay, so what's with this High Priestess in reverse? This is giving me this follow the signs. It's like he wasn't open to the High Priestess's intuition, the signs, the dreams, the intuition that was screaming at him. He was ignoring his intuition. He was ignoring this. He wasn't acting on it. Pisces energy, 9 of Swords, anxiety. Coming out of any anxiety here. And also, this is my dark night of the soul. You know, so I feel like he's coming out of something here. 4 Swords, yeah, reflection. So there's a greater truth he's sitting with here. Okay, he's sitting with a greater truth. And I feel he's seeing where he's been blind, where he wasn't seeing or taking action. But I feel like he's needed this time to reflect. So this 10 Swords, this separation, this period of pause has given him time to come out of all of this anxiety in order to identify where he's been not taking action aligned with his intuition, in order to create stability, in order to come into union, to lay the groundwork. This is my 1111 card. 4 Wands, stability, security, marriage, foundation, coming together with our twin. So I feel this connection is moving towards union here, okay? Moving towards commitment, stability, and structure. And I feel like it hasn't got here because this divine masculine was waiting for this divine feminine to sort of, you know, take responsibility here in her own life in order for things to slowly start to collapse here for him. You know, collapse for him to start making headway and movement, okay? For him to identify where he's been sort of blind here in order for these two to come together. Yeah, the Hierophant in reverse. Because I feel like he hasn't been able to commit. He hasn't been able to see what he values here with the Hierophant in reverse. And so he might have been like really, really in this masked energy, needing to remember who he is with this Hierophant, what it is he values. And I feel like what he's valuing here is these two coming together. What he's valuing here is his remembrance of what this connection is. Because I feel like he's having these signs, these dreams, and these mystical messages in regards to what she means to him. You know, the past love, like it's really hitting him hard here, you know, force with constant reminders of you. So he's needing to take the steps here in order to have this transformation. And I feel that's exactly what he's doing, you know, but I feel like he's going from a very slow energy that's been very stuck into one that's making the decision here to really lean into creating this stability with the 3 Pentacles and this 4 Wands, because wherever he wasn't seeing has sort of fallen apart. That ideology has fallen apart. Okay, you can't no more down that sort of path anymore. So this is good news for this twin. If you haven't heard from this divine masculine, then there is this reconciliation with the 3 Cups. I do feel is coming forward. And if you are with this divine masculine, I feel like this last sort of break is something in which he's learned a profound lesson, you know, and this doesn't mean that things are peachy keen, because this journey doesn't end and we keep sort of growing. And I feel like this divine masculine is learning all about connecting to his heart space and learning about how to express his self, all because this divine feminine has been able to do the self work. and lead the way. Okay, so this is what I have. Pile number